Enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Now that you've reached the stage in your life where quality television is important, Nubian TV is a black network that speaks to your lifestyle. Nubian TV is the world's first digital network devoted to the upscale and political lifestyles of black people. Nubian TV's programming includes politics, travel, fashion, food, automotive, arts and culture, civil rights, music, and more. Watch now on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, or watch globally at nubiantv.net. Nubian TV, it's what you want to watch.
Come with me if you want to live a more delicious life.
Oh, maybe we should get in the van.
In this world, we don't get to control much. The past, male pattern baldness.
What geese?
Got one right now. The urge to puff that bubble wrap. But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day. What we eat. Welcome to the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money! Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time.
That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good. Very good.
Coming in hot, Jimmy, coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Good morning, America. I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy. I'm in. I'm in too.
I'm in. That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George,
Where? Ginger?
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome in to another edition of Brainley's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all you here. Day 17 of the Diddy trial. You know, we're giving you coverage Monday through Friday because that's how it happens with the trial. This is a Monday through Friday trial, like most trials are. So yesterday we heard from Bryana, who was the woman that got dangled off of a 17th floor balcony. But there is more that meets the eye because there is new testimony and somebody could get in some trouble, more trouble than they already are in. Let's talk about higher is waiting, low is available, but either way, we are live on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear the virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. Let's get to the getting and doing what we do because we do have a lot to discuss here. All right, y'all. Here we go from NBCnews.com. Shonda Combs trial recap. Judge threatens to remove Combs. I'm going to say that again. Judge threatens to remove Combs. Judge threatens to remove Combs. Defense accuses witness of lying. I don't know if the defense can actually say that based on the fact of your client called a security guard to say that molly-whopping video of him doing that molly-whopping to Cassie could ruin his career, basically admitting that he knew what the fuck he did, but you want to accuse the witness of lying. That's Diddy's defense. Okay. Judge Arnstone warned he would kick Combs out of the courtroom if he continued making faces at the jury. Let's get into it. What to know about the sex trafficking trial? Shonda Combs was almost removed from the courtroom today for attempting to interact with jurors. Judge Arnstone angrily admonished the defense team and demanded Combs stop making faces at the jury or else he would be kicked out of court. Bryana Bongolan, a friend of Combs' former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, returned to the stand today for more questions about her claim that Combs dangled her over a 17th-story balcony in 2016 before throwing her onto the balcony's furniture. Combs' defense repeatedly called into question Bongolan's account of the alleged balcony incident, at one point directly accusing her of lying to the jury. A woman using the pseudonym Jane also took the stand today. She said she was in a romantic relationship from 2021 to 2024. Jane provided graphic details about hotel nights and when Combs would arrange for her to have drug-fueled sex with another man as he watched. The details of the hotel nights are nearly identical to what Ventura referred to as freak-offs. Jane said she did not want to participate in the hotel nights, but said Combs would threaten her financially if she refused. But yet y'all say Cassie is a victim, though? Let's get into it. Combs faces 5 criminal counts, 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has ferociously denied the allegations against him. This live briefing may include graphic descriptions of sexual violence. For resources on sexual assault, call the National Sexual Assault Telephone Hotline. Sign up for the Day on Trial newsletter for key developments and analysis, and listen to the Dateline Nightly podcast. All right, here we go, everybody. Let's get into it. Make it do what it do. Court adjourned for the day. Judge Sumerian adjourned court for the day, asking jurors to return tomorrow before 9 a.m. Sumerian told jurors that there could be some longer days next week, perhaps with testimony lasting to 5 p.m. to make up for lost time. So as you know, court has been ending. Court has been ending around 3 o'clock. Majority every day, but now travel and prep for hotel nights was extensive, including dozens of baby oil bottles, Jane says. Combs went to extraordinary lengths to make travel and hotel arrangements for his exotic trips with Jane. Typically, the plan included Combs' travel agent assistants, and others to secure hotel stays, suites, red lights, music, lotions, alcohol, bed sheets, blankets, and towels because of the excessive use of baby oil. Jane testified. I would say 24 or more bottles of baby oil, she said, of her trips to Turks and Caicos, Miami, Los Angeles, and New York between May 2021 and October of 2023. Just want to pull up a guy real quick. If you'll indulge me real quick, I just want to pull up a guy. Just want to pull up a guy real quick. Ah, my Lord. I mean, I still cannot believe that this idiot, right, said what he said on a publicly available documentary. For those of you who've been watching the trial, you know the clip that I'm about to pull up. For the rest of you, you're about to find out. Why all the baby oil though? Like, listen, you can't get mad at us for all the jokes about baby oil when you had all that baby oil, right? The government seized about 1,000 bottles of baby oil, right? And everybody had their suspicions. Now, some people thought that maybe the baby oil was, laced with some drugs, but turns out that was not the case. So, give me a moment here.
Eager to tell his story.
They're going to show that video over and over and over. What happens to women that won't change their stories?
His reputation is over.
The United States government, they start making this case as a takedown of a successful black man.
TMZ presents The Downfall of Diddy, The Indictment, now streaming on Tubi.
They call them freak-offs. But, back when I was a kid in the late 70s, they were called threesomes.
If these are genuinely threesomes, how do you explain 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
I don't know where the number 1,000 came.
The U.S. Attorney said it.
I can't imagine it's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way.
Two more times.
Can't imagine it's thousands.
Oh my God.
And I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way.
One more.
I can't imagine it's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way.
I would say 24 or more bottles of baby oil. I mean, bruh, like right there, I won the case just on merit. Oh my Lord, let's roll on. I cannot. Jane describes marathon hotel nights that could last for more than a day. Jane said hotel nights with Combs and other men could last between 24 and 30 hours with no sleep. The witness gave very graphic and detailed testimony about her exact role in these hours-long sex sessions and the direction she received from Combs. Jane said Combs threatened her financially if she refused to have sex with other men. The witness said she had no choice but to keep having sex with other men for Combs' enjoyment because he was paying my rent. Jane, a single mother, made it clear that if she didn't agree to these sexual demands, the relationship would be over and she would have to find somewhere else to live. I felt an obligation because I knew he was paying my rent, she testified. These sex acts were also called debauchery or hotel nights, Jane added. Just want to say something. Okay. Hey y'all. See, I said this shit a couple of times back, right? Of who Jane could be. I just want to go back for a second. Jane also took the stand today. She said she was in a romantic relationship with Combs from 2021 to 2024. Okay. Now, the only person that we know, right, that did this right here, Miami. Now, we don't know if it's Young Miami for sure, okay, but as you can see here, they first were linked in 2021 and confirmed their relationship in June 2022. Their relationship lasted until April of 2023. I'm not saying Young Miami testified. We don't know who, but that's what it sounded like. Okay, so back to the timeline here as it loads up for us. Okay, just thought that was interesting. Okay. Because Young Miami also does have kids, so just saying. I'm right here. Make sure I was. Yes, okay, we're good there. Jane said her first freak off opened a Pandora's box in relationship with Combs. Jane testified that the first time she had sex with another man was Jane testified that the first time she had sex with another man, as Combs watched in May of 2021, opened a Pandora's box in their relationship. She just completely set the tone for our relationship going forward. She said, I felt like it was a door I wanted to shut. She said Diddy immediately began requesting more of the freak-offs. Asked what percentage of the time she had sex with another man while in a relationship with Combs, Jane responded 90%. She said she repeatedly told Combs she did not want to have sex with other men, but would eventually relent. I was agreeable because I wanted to make him happy, turn him on, satisfy my partner, she told the court. Jane tearfully recalls first time she had sex with another man as Combs watched. The witness began tearing up when she said she recalled Combs first arranging for her to have sex with another man. He said, we can make it happen tonight. And I said, tonight? I was taken aback, but I said, okay. She said of a May 2021 encounter. When asked by the prosecution if she thought she was going to have sex that night with another man or if she wanted to have sex with someone else than Combs, Jane responded no and no. We went to a hotel room or the hotel room a couple of hours later. I saw assistant set up a room, get his room ready. There was a bustle of getting this room ready. Prosecutors have said Combs operated a criminal enterprise to, in part, have these freakouts when he wanted. Bruh. Now, if we remember, right, with Cassie's 10-album deal, Diddy paid her rent, told her what to wear, told her how to move, how to be, everything in between. And that if Cassie didn't participate in the freak-offs, that there were consequences as well. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Jane says drugs, including ketamine, were a constant in her sex life with Combs. Jane said she did drugs, including ecstasy, Coca-Cola, not the drink, but y'all know what I mean, and ketamine every time she saw Combs in February and May of 2021. The witness said she enjoyed her sex life with Combs in 12 or 24-hour-long romps that often included baby oil. Combs kept huge supplies of baby oil, authorities said, which was used in his alleged sexual abuse of victims. But at this point in their relationship, Jane said she was engaged in consensual sex with Combs. Jane testifies about screaming after Combs gave her ecstasy. Jane testified to using drugs with Combs while on a trip to the Turks and Caicos in February 2021. It was their first trip together in celebration on her birthday. We were at the pool and he said, "Here, take this." And I took the whole pill. I was walking down the beach with him and it just hit me. I felt insane. She testified. My body was just convulsing and I was screaming. I said, "Help me." She said Combs took her back to the shower to calm her down. I started to subside after that. We were taking it every day and I would small doses, Sean decided. She said he gave me ecstasy. It made me feel relaxed, euphoric, sexual, and even more loving. It made me last about 12 hours. After the 12 hours, I would say we need something. I would say we would take something to relax or go to bed, Jane testified. Wow. It was, my body was convulsing. I was just screaming. I said, "Help me for me." Ooh, my Lord Jesus. That's just, it really did seem like whoever was available for him to get to the finish line of his satisfaction, he was game for. My Lord. Jane fell head over heels for Combs in Miami. The witness recalled a 5-day first date with Combs in Miami in early 2021 as she fell head over heels for the music mogul. Lots of love, made love. It was just amazing, said Jane. I remember it like it was morning time and we just decided to go for a walk on the beach. Jane testified that Combs gave the girls a pink powdery substance. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Now, this has been said. This drug is called Tessie. I think Tessie was like a hair product back in the day, and cabinets in the bathrooms and stuff. But this is rather a recreational drug that contains a mixture of different psychoactive substances, most commonly found in a pink dyed powder known as pink Coca-Cola. It is believed to have originated in Latin America, specifically Colombia, around 2018. Just to give you context, conjecture, and connection there. Jane testified that Combs gave a pink powdery substance to a group of girls during a Miami trip in 2020. One of the girls requested drugs and somebody bought the drugs, she testified. Jane said she then went with Combs to a studio where they encountered another man, saw the drugs. Jane said she asked if the drugs were safe. And I remember both of them looking at me and just kind of gave me this look like, yeah, this is the best, she said. Jane said Combs took the pink powder back to the pool and gave it to the girls. Oh my God. Now, I'm not, no, I'm not about to do this. No, I'm not, no. Jane and Combs gave each other the code names Bert and Ernie. When Jane first met and flirted with Combs, they came up with code names for each other. She said, we exchanged numbers. She said, and that's when we said we should have a nickname. He said Bert and I said Ernie. A text message exchange between the two was later introduced where they said, "Hi, Bert," and "Hi, Ernie." Bert and Ernie, of course, are best friends from Sesame Street. And Sesame Workshop is like, how did we get in this? Now, for those of you who are wondering why I am laughing the way I am, hey, Coach James Hodge, good to see you, brother. So they talked about Combs having a rubber duck in the bathtub as he was taking his baths, right? And I brought up a very particular song, "Rubber Ducky, You're the One," from Ernie from Sesame Street. You can't make this shit up. The fact that the code names were Bert and Ernie. Sunny day, da 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 da, A-okay. Da, da, da. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Hey everybody, today the letter of the day is D for doing too damn much. Let's roll. Hashtag cut it out. Witness known as Jane has been called to the stand. The government has called the witness testifying under the pseudonym Jane to the stand. Judge Arn soon told the jury that they will know her real name, but it will not be mentioned publicly to protect her privacy. That doesn't give her greater or lesser weight than any of any. That doesn't give her greater or lesser weight of any other witnesses. Sumerian told the jury, rather. Jane said on the stand she was in a relationship with Combs from 2021 to 2024. She wore a brown suit and bounced to court. Okay. Ventura let Key Combs' aide know about the alleged dangling incident. Santos only testified briefly about extracting data from cell phones, including deleted text messages. In one such message from Cassie Ventura's phone, Ventura informed Combs Enterprises chief of staff Christina Corkman of the 2016 incident when he allegedly dangled a woman over the balcony. Ventura implied that she did witness the alleged attack, but seemed to believe it really happened. This is crazy, Ventura wrote, according to the text messages emitted through Santos. I have to stay away. The text message could bolster Bongolan's testimony and help prosecutors push more of the case away from Combs personally and closer to his company and a possible act of racketeering. I mean, for the record, the former chief financial officer, which was, let me pull him up, CFO Records. So Derek Ferguson, who was on the witness stand, he was the chief financial officer of Bad Boy Entertainment. So, of course, he had to keep up with all finances, right? So he had to separate these personal finances from the company's finances of Bad Boy Entertainment. So there is that. Government calls investigative analysts to the stand. Enrique Santos, an investigative analyst for the U.S. Attorney's Office, was called to the witness stand. He's an expert at pulling data from cell phones, tablets, and other devices with GPS technology. Combs spotted making faces at jury since start of trial. Court urged Jane Harsenberg, who has been doing a wonderful, magnificent, superb job of doing those courtroom sketches for everybody here, who has had her eyes and binoculars on Combs for more than a month, tells NBC News that Combs has been making facial expressions at jurors since the start of the trial. Combs has been attempting to interact with various members of the jury, both affirmatively and negatively dependent on the testimony. Rosenberg said several NBC reporters and producers have witnessed the same. Judge threatens to remove Combs from court for interacting with jurors. Judge Sumerian threatened to kick Combs out of court for allegedly flashing facial expressions at jurors. Combs was not looking at the panel during recent testimony, which is absolutely unacceptable, Sumerian admonished. Sumerian asked defense lawyer Mark Fellow if this would happen again. No, Your Honor, it's not going to happen again. The Fellow replied, and Sumerian made an admonish the defense saying this cannot happen again. Once again, I don't know if I would trust a lawyer to say this would not happen again when he said, and I quote,
imagine it's thousands. I mean, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for.
Moving on. Bongolan leaves the witness stand following late fireworks. Cassie Ventura's friend finished her testimony in the wake of Combs' side, accusing the witness of lying. Defense implied in questions that Bongolan could have been dangled over an LA balcony in 2016 because Combs was in New York City at that time. Combs' lawyer also accused Bongolan of suing Combs because it was her opportunity to become a millionaire, but Bongolan held firm on the stand, saying she was telling the truth. I care about justice. Bongolan left the witness stand. Judge Smurrian declared the court to be at recess until at least 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So like I said, when you have had that traumatic of an experience, Don Richards said this, that she suppressed her memories. So, obviously, this was in the lawsuit that Cassie had that was settled the next day, by the way. So, yeah. 2016, 2017, it still happened within that time frame, right? And not to mention, the defense can only go off of what Diddy tells them. And you can only go off of what has been entered in court. But this is the smart ass defense team that Diddy got. Okay. I will never forgive him for holding me on that balcony, Bongolan testified. Bongolan says she has no doubt that Combs dangled her over a balcony edge and said she wanted to testify to seek justice. She said that although she doesn't remember every single detail, there are moments that she will never forget. I will never forget him holding me on that balcony, she said, telling the court that she was terrified. Defense accuses Bongolan of lying about alleged balcony incident. The defense insisted Combs was in New York on the day Bongolan claimed that she was dangled over a balcony in Los Angeles. Combs' attorney, Westmoreland, showed a hotel receipt that appeared to show her client was at the 47 International Hotel and Tower in Manhattan between September 24th and September 29th, 2016. Bongolan claimed she suffered injuries when Combs dangled her over the balcony of Ventura's LA apartment on or around September 26th. And dramatic showdown, Westmoreland said, you came in here and lied to the jury. Is that true? Bongolan replied, I can't agree with you. And good for you for holding your own, because this defense is so damn wretched, broken, and tattered that they will utilize a woman's trauma just so they can look like the saviors. The defense team believes that domestic violence is cool. I'm just going to say that every single one of them. Every single one of them. They don't gotta say it. They don't. I'm saying it for them. And Diddy's defense team is not going to do shit. To me or to anybody else talking. Like I said, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if you let it fly, it must apply. Bongolan says she continued to hang around Combs to be cool with him. Bongolan testified that she continued to hang around Combs after he dangled her over a balcony edge because she was trying to be cool with him. So here is Bongolan right here. I'm just, I guess, I like these glasses more than these. I don't know. These look like 3D glasses to me, but hey, to each their own. How in the hell can you even see all those? Okay, child. Bongolan returned to scene of alleged dangling incident. Bongolan testified that she returned to Cassie Ventura's apartment within 2 weeks of Combs allegedly dangling her over a balcony edge. Ventura invited Bongolan back to her place for an overnight stay of drinking, smoking, and cooking. A text message chain showed Bongolan admitted she said yes and returned to the scene of Combs' alleged assault on her. The defense's cross-examination seems to either dispute or minimize the alleged dangling incident by showing Bongolan did not appear worried about returning to that locale. Bongolan says she kept in contact with Combs after alleged balcony dangling. Combs' defense returned to a common refrain of cross-examination, reminding witnesses that they kept socializing with him even after claiming that they'd been victimized by the music mogul. Bongolan admitted to defense lawyer Westmoreland that she shared a blunt with Combs following the alleged balcony incident. Bongolan insisted that she was trying to maintain some distance with Combs. Listen, whenever you're in a situation of that magnitude, right, especially in the Hollywood industry, you do have to keep up appearances, right? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So even though she probably did not want to be around him, guess what? Diddy at the time was that powerful to be like, hey, I like that person. I don't like that person. And then that was the gospel, right? So Bongolan questioned about lawsuit claiming sexual assault. Bongolan was asked about a lawsuit her attorneys filed claiming she was sexually assaulted by Combs. She said she was aware of the claim. When asked if she thought the only way to file a lawsuit was, she said Combs had sexually assaulted her. Bongolan said, I do not recall. That reminds me of, hang on, let me see here. Let me see if I can do this. Hang on, give me a moment, y'all. Give me a moment. Here we go. Hang on, let me see here. Let me make sure that this is the right clip. Okay, I think that this is the clip y'all are going to laugh at this. Oh my God, y'all will laugh at this. Hang on, here we go.
I did not have any private meetings, nor do I recall any conversations with any Russian officials at the Mayflower Hotel. I do not have any recollection. I did not remember it. I did not remember that. If I had remembered it, or if it actually occurred, which I don't remember that it did. I don't know about these reports. I don't recall it. And it's conceivable that occurred. I just don't remember it. I still do not recall it. Not to my recollection. I don't have any recollection. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'd have to rack my brain, but I don't recall it. Don't think I had any direct involvement, so I don't recall that. I cannot say with certainty I did not. Have no recollection of a discussion. I don't recall any such meeting. I don't recall any such conversation. I don't recall it. I have racked my brain and I do not believe so. I don't recall any. I don't recall it. I don't recall. I don't recall. I don't not recall. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. I don't recall. I don't know. I don't recall it. I don't recall that.
And are you aware of
At this moment, I don't believe so. I don't recall whether that was discussed or not. I don't recall that being discussed. I just don't have a real recall of the meeting. I don't recall.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.
That was not to Bryana Bongolan. I just remember Jeff Sessions saying that in a hearing. And just wanted to bring it back to y'all remembrance. All right, let's get back to the damn timeline. We're live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Glad to have you here. I'm your tour guide, Braylon Lee. We are live on tour at the destination of the 17th day of the Diddy trial. We are in the middle of the timeline of Bryana Bongolan giving her testimony of what happened with her and Combs with that incident over the 17th floor balcony that Bongolan was hanging over by Combs' hands. Welcome and glad to have you here. Bongolan said some of the claims made by her lawyer against Combs were incorrect. Bryana Bongolan said some of the allegations made by her lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, against Combs were incorrect, including the claim that he grabbed her breast so hard that he left bruises. Bongolan said she did not remember all the claims made by Blackburn, but told defense lawyer Nicole Westmoreland that some of them were incorrect. Defense continues challenging Bongolan's memory of alleged balcony dangling incident. Combs' lawyers continued the same strategy as yesterday, calling into question Bongolan's memories of the alleged 2016 dangling incident. When defense attorney Nicole Westmoreland pointed out that she had previously said Cassie Ventura witnessed the incident, Bongolan responded with, "I don't recall." Bongolan also said she suffered nightmares from the incident as recently as a few days ago. Well, here's the thing, right? Like I said before, the defense is really desperate for a win here because they know their client is fucked up the asshole with no lube in there, and Diddy is bleeding mentally because what has come out in 17 days is damaging to a fault. Like I said, in the court of public opinion, he's guilty, but in the court of law, all this has to play out, right? So, of course, memory can be wonky when you were the person that went through that traumatic incident. Defense questions Bongolan on drug use with Ventura after Combs threatened her. Bryana Bongolan testified that she continued to use drugs and associate with. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Bryana Bongolan testified that she continued to do drugs and with Cassie Ventura even after when she said she was threatened by Combs. When asked if she was scared, Bongolan responded, "I guess not." But also, Diddy has had problems with drugs and drug use because there's Louis Vuitton drug back, so miss me with that. Okay. Testimony from Bryana Bongolan resumes. Jurors entered the court and witnessed Bryana Bongolan return to the stand for continued cross-examination by defense lawyer Nicole Westmoreland. With the late start this morning, U.S. District Court Judge R. Seward reminded jurors that the lunch break will be later than usual and will be shorter. Combs closely watched jurors and evidence yesterday. Combs closely watched the jury in court yesterday when they first took their seats and was attentive during testimony. Much of yesterday was spent looking at security footage and cell phone videos, and he peered at the monitor before him. I don't know why he needed to peer at the monitor. Like, dude, that was you. Listen, I slipped since then, but I believe that was a time period 407 years ago, looking dumb fuck. Just saying. Like, why did you? You know what? I'm gonna do this real quick. Give me one moment. Hang on. This is what Diddy was doing. Let me take this down. I believe that was me. Hang on. Let me see. Yeah, that was me. That was me at the time. Yeah, I really was out my rabbit ass mind. Like that was him. Okay, that was him. Hey, nice to see you. But yeah, I was just like, really? Is that what we doing, bro? Oh, my Lord Jesus. Okay, here we go. Who is testifying today? Bryana Bongolan, a friend of Cassandra Ventura, will return to the witness stand today for more cross-examination. Afterward, Combs' accuser, who will go by the pseudonym Jane, is expected to begin multiple days of testimony. Jane, who was identified as victim 2 in the prosecution's indictment, was allegedly engaged in commercial sex acts as a result of forced fraud or coercion. And then here is Bryana Bongolan right here. She's just throwing her hands up like, do y'all not see this shit? Which is why I said we feel you. We see it. Other people don't want to see it. Right here, friend of Combs' former girlfriend testified yesterday. Bryana Bongolan, a friend of Combs' former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, testified yesterday about an alleged terrifying moment involving the music mogul in September 2016. Bongolan said she was sleeping on the couch at Ventura's 17th floor Los Angeles apartment when Combs banged on the door. She testified that she went out to the balcony to smoke grass. I'm saying that to cover us over here. And Combs, who had gotten inside, came behind me and lifted me up and had me on top of the rail. Combs allegedly held her for about 10 to 15 seconds and said, for a second, I thought I was going to fall. She said Combs was yelling at her at the time and that she didn't know why. And another part of her testimony, Bongolan said Combs allegedly told her something along the lines of, "I'm the devil, I can kill you." She testified that Combs had taken Coca-Cola at the time he made the comments. Wait a minute. Let's go back, because I do believe there is some hypocrisy here. Let me go back. Let me go back. Give me a moment. Right here, Jane testified that Combs gave the girls a pink powdery substance. Okay. So it's interesting that Combs dealt in drugs, right? And they also talked about Bryana Bongolan doing drugs, but yet in the same token, though, Diddy also did drugs. So I just wanted to point that out. Right here, Combs kept huge supplies of baby oil, authority said, which was used in his alleged sexual abuse of victims. Jane said she did drugs including ecstasy, Coca-Cola, ketamine every time she saw Combs. And we know that Combs also used drugs at the freak-offs. So just wanted to point that out. Yeah, just, oh my Lord Jesus. She testified that Combs had taken Coca-Cola at the time he made the comments. And that is everything you need to know of the 17th day of the Diddy trial. So let's get some dynamic video in here.
Oh, Coco. It's vegan. You don't like it?
To the Sean Diddy Combs trial, a new testimony from a woman who alleges Combs dangled her over a 17th floor balcony. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky is at the courthouse with more. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Rebecca. An alleged sex trafficking victim is expected to testify here today that Sean Combs used lies, drugs, and threats to force her into freak-offs. After the jury hears more from a different woman who claims Combs hoisted her over that balcony. This morning, a critical witness for the prosecution, a woman testifying under the pseudonym Jane, who prosecutors say began a secret relationship with Sean Combs in 2020 and spent years in hotel rooms for forced sex. Jane's testimony will follow the cross-examination of Bryana Bongolan, known as Bana, who described years of drug use with her friend Cassie Ventura. Cassie, all the way right! And she testified Ventura FaceTimed her before the premiere of her movie The Perfect Match.
I want to try something new.
What did you see? Prosecutors asked. Her black eye, Bongolan said. I was a little quiet, and I remember saying, I'm sorry. Bongolan testified Combs once hoisted her over this balcony after barging into Ventura's apartment on the 17th floor. For a split second, I was thinking about if I was going to fall. She said Combs kept yelling at her, you know what the expletive you did.
Open your eyes and look at what you did. Hashtag shout to Dexter. Moving on.
Before throwing her onto this furniture, leaving bruises. Combs denied it happened, and the defense challenged her account. Isn't it true you told the government just 2 days ago you couldn't recall the details of what happened on the balcony? A defense attorney asked. Bongolan replied, I don't remember. Once Bongolan's testimony concludes, the jury will hear from Jane. She's a key figure in the government's second sex trafficking count against Sean Combs. George, he denies all the charges. George.
Aaron Katursky, thanks.
So there you go with that there. Oh, look at this here. Braylon Lee's on ABC News YouTube channel. Ain't that something? That is amazing. Let me, no, just work with me now, please. There we go. And there we go. You gotta learn how to utilize yourself, y'all. God! There we go. Okay, we're good. So, some more dynamic video here as we are live on tour. Give me a moment, please. So, here is racketeering conspiracy charges against Sean Diddy Combs explained from ABC News. Here we go.
It's one of the top searches on Google. Why is Diddy being charged with RICO.
So the Racketeering Act, also known as RICO, came about in 1970 and was really established to fight organized crime, but it's been morphed into prosecuting people in gangs, in legitimate businesses, etc.
So how does this decades-old law apply to Combs's case? Prosecutors allege his business empire was also a criminal enterprise, making him millions and enabling decades of criminal activity.
Basically, the government's got to prove that there was an enterprise. They then have to show that there was a pattern of activity.
That pattern must include at least 2 predicate acts, related crimes committed by Combs and others within 10 years to prove a racketeering conspiracy.
And then they have to show, of course, that the defendant, that is Mr. Combs, that there was a hierarchy, a structure involved, and that Mr. Combs either ran it or participated in it along with other conspirators.
Prosecutors allege Combs and his associates committed multiple crimes that would fit into this racketeering conspiracy. Kidnapping. Combs' former assistant Capricorn Clark testified Combs kidnapped her at gunpoint and made her come with him, threatening to kill Kid Cudi. Arson. Rapper Kid Cudi testified his Porsche was torched with a Molotov cocktail. Cassie Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend who was dating Kid Cudi at the time, testified that Sean wanted Kid Cudi's friends to be there to see the car get blown up in the driveway. Bribery. Hotel security guard Eddie Garcia testified Combs paid for what he thought was the only copy of the incident in the elevator lobby in 2016, the caught-on-tape beating of Ventura by Combs. Garcia told the jury Combs called him Eddie my angel and handed him $100,000 from a brown paper bag. Forced labor and sex trafficking. Mia, a former personal assistant to Combs, testified under a pseudonym that she was forced to work long hours, at one time going 5 straight days without sleep, and subjected to a cycle of physical abuse by Combs. Mia was one of 3 of Combs' former assistants who alleged similar working conditions on the witness stand. Mia tearfully testified about alleged instances of sexual assault by Combs, including an allegation that he raped her on the bottom bunk of her bedroom in his Los Angeles home. These claims of sexual abuse could fall under the predicate act of sex trafficking. Cassie Ventura also told the jury she was manipulated to participate in sex acts against her will. Transportation for the purposes of prostitution. Recall that Cassie, during her testimony, said she was directed by Combs to use his travel agent to book travel for escorts for the sole purpose of freak-offs. And finally, possession to distribute drugs. 2 former assistants of Combs testified that they procured illegal drugs for him on multiple occasions. One assistant, Capricorn Clark, testified she witnessed Combs giving drugs to girlfriends and friends, something both Cassie and Mia told the jury.
By the way, everybody, if we zoom in here, you see, I think that is Tussie there, I think, because I can see that pink bag right there, so.
The RICO charge alone carries a...
So, let me zoom in here. So you see kidnapping here, Capricorn Clark, you see arson from Kid Cudi's car, you see bribery of Eddie Garcia here, you see forced labor, you see sex trafficking here, you see transportation for the purposes of prostitution, and then you see here to distribute, possession with intent to distribute or distribution of narcotics and controlled substances. So all of those have to factor into RICO, which Diddy was the head of Bad Boy Entertainment. The car that was at Cudi's house was registered under Bad Boy Entertainment.
Maximum sentence of life in prison. The defense says the evidence shows Combs may be a flawed individual, but is not a racketeer. He's pleaded not guilty to all charges and denies running a criminal enterprise and denies any sexual assault or abuse.
And there it is there. So just to give you guys context there. Like I said, from dailymail.com here, Diddy judge explodes at rapper for absolutely, oh my lord. You see that? Boulder terrorist charged with 118 counts for anti-Zionist flamethrower attack. As you can see, News is happening everywhere. Sex trafficking racketeering Sean Diddy Combs continued on Thursday with more dramatic testimony, including that of a third alleged victim. Aaron Simon admonished the disgraced music mogul on Thursday after he noticed him nodding vigorously at the jury, warning that he would kick him out of his own trial if he continued the behavior. Stern warning came just after a third alleged sex trafficking victim, only known as Jane, took the stand. Jane testified that she told Combs repeatedly, in person and writing, that she did not want to keep having freak-offs with other men. But Diddy kept pushing her into them, and she felt obligated to go along with it. She said he had control over her life in other ways, she said, including by paying the rent on her home, just like he paid Cassie's rent. Diddy, 55, has pled not guilty. His lawyers conceded he could be violent, but he denies using threats or his music industry clout to commit abuse. Well, I mean, we all remember when Capricorn Clark got told that Jimmy Iovine said keep quiet, right? And so that was using his music industry clout, right, to have that mental abuse over Capricorn Clark. Right here, judge warns Diddy could be removed from courtroom over improper conduct. Judge Aaron Sirian told lawyers on Thursday that he twice saw Combs looking at the jury, nodding vigorously during the cross-examination of Bongolan. The judge said Diddy's behavior was absolutely unacceptable, cannot happen again. The judge said he would consider further measures if the conduct does not stop, including kicking the disgraced mogul out of his own trial. Defense attorney Mark Fellow said he understood. The judge then added sternly, there should be no efforts whatsoever to have an interaction with this jury. This judge right here is going to be a legend. And the movie gets made, because believe me, there will be a movie or a TV series about this trial, okay? Just like the O.J. Simpson case was made into an FX show. Believe me, this will happen for that. So, yes, indeed, there. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, right here from the New York Post. Let me show y'all this here. If it'll pull up. Right here from the New York Post, Sean Diddy Combs' girlfriend used at least 24 bottles of baby oil for a single freak-off, influencer reveals at bombshell trial. Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend detailed how she got wrapped up in the music mogul's twisted web to Manhattan Journal on Thursday, saying the two regularly used 24 more bottles of baby oil during 6 freak-off sessions. The woman who was testifying anonymously using the name Jane said in federal court that the first time she had freak-off from the mogul in May 2021, it opened up a Pandora's box she was never able to close again. It just completely set the tone for our relationship moving forward. So then here's all the bottles of baby oil and Astroglide. And you see the rubber ducks right there. Rubber ducky, you're the one. Bert and Ernie. Look at that. There was so much of it after, and there was too much of it. By the way, shout out to Thrill Joy there for sure. Jane says she met the Bad Boy Records founder in 2020 while on a trip to Miami with a group of girlfriends, one of whom Combs was involved with at the time. He had invited us all over for dinner and a yacht thing. I remember we all went over to his Star Island residence in Miami, she said. The pair got into a relationship the following year, and it soon came to involve the freak-offs where Combs allegedly paid male sex workers to sleep with Jane while he watched testimony in the 4th week bombshell trial in which and sexually abused women for more than a decade. So there it is. There she can see all the bottles of Astroglide and baby oil there. Jane, who referred to freak-offs as hotel nights, said they had to cover everything in the room with bed sheets, blankets, and towels for excessive use of baby oil everywhere. So y'all grandmothered. You know how like you go to your grandmother's cushion, you go to your grandmother's place, and it will be saran wrapped. So basically, y'all saran wrapped the room. Child, that's hilarious. The hotel nights always involved baby oil. They would go through 24 or more bottles of the lubricating prior during a single session. She testified, he really enjoyed watching me pour oil all over myself, all over the man, said Jane, who dated Combs until his arrest in September of 2024. And there's Shonda Combs right there in that infamous hotel video, mollywopping Cassie there. Jane said a male escort will arrive at the room and undress to just shorts while she was in a robe with music in the background. Soon things will escalate to foreplay. A few steps before that, the oil would typically the oil would be happening. By the way, in the video, Diddy threw a vase or a vase at Cassie, so that's the aftermath of the vase being thrown there. So yes, indeed. When I started dancing, I would put the oil on the man. Combs really liked the oil and would relieve himself as the escort and his girlfriend flew around. She testified eventually the pair had fellatio with Combs looking. Oh my Lord. A typical hotel night session lasted 24 to 30 hours, Jane added. Jane said she was not able to sleep for that length of time. Their relationship started out intense. Jane said on the stand that Combs brought out a lot of passion in me before he eventually pressured her to have sex with other men over her objections. I loved him so much. I loved him very much, rather. She said Combs before their relationship deteriorated. The I'll Be Missing You singer, who could spend his life in prison, if convicted on the charges, has denied all wrongdoing. So a lot going on there. I'm gonna turn off my camera now because we done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. Whew. Child. Yeah, it's just I don't know, y'all. I really don't like the defense trying to say that Bryana Bogle's testimony wasn't true. It's like, y'all were not there. Okay, so you can't say shit. I know we weren't there either, but listen, Diddy is the one on trial, so it's just, oh my Lord Jesus, I just cannot do it. Nope. Some people in the building, 6 people in the building now. Thank you all so much. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Glad to have all here in the building with me. Yes, indeed, here. Oh my God. Yes. And of course, I think Jane will be back on the stand tomorrow. I think Bryana Bongolan is done with her testimony at this point. Like I said, we got this month to go, and then July 4th is when jury deliberations start. Like I said, July 4th, which will be the 4th of July. Hopefully a verdict is reached on that day. And I said this on the Culture Talk with Pam, Jonda, Scott, and also Latrice, that the verdict will be happening during the very first day of the Essence Festival Culture. So either the verdict will happen on July 4th or the verdict will happen on Sunday, because they could sequester them at that point at the courthouse and make it do what it do. So yeah, we got a lot going on here for sure. We want to take a little commercial break. And we'll be back with more right after this. We are live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back once again right after this.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams.
no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
In Disney's 102-year history, there have been many defining moments and countless achievements. Today, we celebrate another thrilling moment, the creation of a spectacular new Disney theme park resort coming to Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi is a place where heritage meets innovation, a place where we preserve our past while designing the future.
Bringing a Disney theme park resort to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi, marks a historic milestone in our journey as a global family destination.
The 7th Disney theme park resort destination represents a new frontier in theme park ambitions. Our resort in Abu Dhabi will be the most advanced and interactive destination in our entire portfolio. The location of our park is incredibly unique. It's anchored by a beautiful waterfront, which will allow us to tell our stories in completely new ways. Ultimately, this project will be a celebration of what's possible when creativity and progress come together.
What we are creating with Disney in Abu Dhabi is a whole new world of imagination and experience that will inspire generations across the region and the world.
This collaboration represents a powerful fusion of Disney's unmatched legacy in storytelling and Mira's commitment to bringing world-class entertainment to our guests.
Abu Dhabi's vision for the future is to create a legacy for generations to come.
Disneyland Abu Dhabi will be authentically Disney and distinctly Emirati. An oasis of extraordinary Disney entertainment at this crossroads of the world. It will bring to life our timeless characters and stories in many new ways, becoming a source of joy and inspiration for the people of this vast region to enjoy for generations to come.
When we start a project, we always start with story. That story is key. So we began with the story of the Waturi people. The myth of the Waturi people is that long ago, they set out on their outrigger canoes looking for a new home. There was a legend that said they could only find this new home with the help of this mini golden-finned fish called kanuku. And they searched across Pacifica and Polynesia, and they visited all these islands. They went to Bali and Tahiti and went as far as Rapa Nui, Easter Island. Along the way, they made friends, collected sort of the culture, and they sailed on and on and on, and they almost to the edge of the world. There, to their amazement, was Kanuku. And she turned to the people and said, "You are ready." Turned and swam away. They followed, and within a day, they caught sight of this smoking mountain on the horizon, which was Volcano Bay. And it was pristine, beautiful, lush, everything that they would want in a home. And that's the backstory that informs everything we do in our design. The idea here is to create the best experience. We know what our guests want. They want the thrill and excitement of our theme parks, but they also want a place where they can relax and chill out and feel pampered. Nobody wants to stand in line. And so we said, let's get rid of them. Nobody wants to carry rafts up a ride tower all the way to the top. So we said, let's do that for you. Exhilaration, excitement, and relaxation. That's what you're gonna get at Volcano Bay.
I finally did it. Popeye's new chicken sandwich. I've been trying to make the perfect chicken sandwich forever.
How does that make you feel?
You know me. It had to be just right. Finding a bun as good as my chicken was not easy. I mean, I did it, obviously.
I think we've made a lot of progress here. I feel great. Good talk. I'm proud of you.
My new chicken sandwich is buttermilk battered and served on toasted brioche. Try it in spicy or classic.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
I finally did it.
McDonald's. I'm loving it.
I'm loving y'all right back. Welcome back into Braylon's virtual tour live. Glad to have all of you here. I think we'll chill out here until what, maybe 1:15 I think we can do that. We can chill out to 1:15 and make it do what it do. But great show. A great recap of the 17th day of the Diddy trial. Of course, tomorrow morning, brand new show for you all. And then at 6 p.m., day 18 of the Diddy trial. A lot going on. Shout out to everybody who got their Nintendo Switch 2. I saw some YouTubers live stream and people doing uploads on their Nintendo Switch 2. By the way, Belkin has a really good charging case for the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, it's a very nice case. Like, the case is $69, and you can actually charge your Nintendo Switch 2 in this case, and you get 2 years of protection with this case. So very cool stuff. So yes, indeed, we're just chilling out here until 1:15. 1 hour and 15 minutes here. So on for a good time, but not for a long time. And making it do what it do there. So yes, indeed. Oh, my Lord. Hey, 5 people, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Just talked about the Diddy trial here, 17th day of the Diddy trial. Bryana Bongolan took to the stand to talk about her incident being dangled off the 17th floor balcony. Also, Jane went on the stand as well today. So, Jane gave some testimony that, really did, damage Diddy. Correlating the freak offs and setting up the rooms for the freak offs, and how, if Jane didn't want to do the freak offs, and that controlled her finances with Diddy. So it was a lot going on for sure, but nothing too surprising. If anything, more confirmation. So, and Diddy might get kicked out of his own trial if he keeps trying to make faces with the jury, which of course is going to happen again. So be ready for Diddy to be kicked out of his own trial. So yeah. So yes, indeed. There's 3 people in the building. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. There, as the fireworks are going off behind us here live on tour. Always love it when it does that. We try to give you something, joyful to go to sleep to over here. You know what I mean? You get a little bit of everything else of the culture. So, but yes, indeed. So, all right, y'all, let me get y'all the Daily Motivator up here, and then we'll head on out of here. By the way, check out La Renee Creole. She is live from Walt Disney World Resort because today is the last day for Muppet Vision 3D. It is leaving unnecessarily for Monsters Land at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So if you're missing Disney World and you need a little Disney magic, go over to my friend La Renee Creole. Tell her Braylon sent you. You will have a good time with her for sure. All right, y'all. It's time for the Daily Motivator as it loads up here. Come on now. Come on. There we go. Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing, because he could only do a little Edmund Burke. Wise words there. It's time for the Daily Motivator for Thursday, June 5th, 2025. Worth the trouble. Is it too much trouble, rather? Or is that just an easy excuse? If you think it's too much trouble, ask yourself this. Will your alternative activity produce as much or more value? If not, then it's well worth going to the trouble. And trouble. opportunity not seized in the moment will indeed be lost forever. Perhaps it's a bit uncomfortable, a bit inconvenient, and yet those are small prices to pay for making progress, creating value, getting good things done. Some undertakings very likely are not worth the trouble for everything else. Don't let the prospect of spending a little time and effort scare you away from the gains you're able to make. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Worth the trouble. I think about this a lot of times. I was talking to somebody last night. What? Really, StreamYard? This is what we're doing? This is what we're doing, StreamYard? Oh my God. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought y'all could see it. This has happened more than once. Let me stop sharing. There we go. Okay. Let me try that one more time. Excuse it, man. Sorry. Try this one more time. Okay. All right, let me make sure it's showing up for you guys this time now. StreamYard's been tripping these last couple of days. Okay, there we go. Like I said, we always do the quote. Yes, we do. We do the quote. So right here, nobody could make a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could do only a little. Edmund Burke. It's time for the Daily Motivator for Thursday, June 5th, 2025. Worth the trouble. Really, it's too much trouble. Really, it's too much trouble, or is that just an easy excuse? If you think it's too much trouble, ask yourself this: will your alternative activity produce as much or more value? If not, then it's well worth going to the trouble because your actions will bring tangible rewards. Whatever effort and trouble you must exert will not last forever. However, an opportunity not seized in the moment will indeed be lost forever. Perhaps it's a bit uncomfortable, a bit inconvenient, yet those are small prices to pay for making progress. For making progress, creating value, and getting good things done. Some undertakings very likely are not worth the trouble for everything else. Don't let the prospect of spending a little time and effort scare you away from making the gains you're able to make. Ralph Wilson. I was talking to a good friend of mine today. He got back to work just today. And, I was saying to him, how much I credit him for, introducing me to the world of shorts, because I did not know how big shorts were. And now we're at 560,000 total views. So the first thing I'll say is, if you don't understand something, breathe with it, right? Because whatever you don't understand, there could be joy on that. There could be joy there. There could be joy with that. And I have to tell you, when I go into my YouTube studio and I look at the shorts that you guys are gravitating to, some of the shorts kind of surprise me a little bit. I'm like, wait, they like that one? So whatever you feel like people may be like, oh my God, they might think this is too much, but that might be the thing that takes you from a zero to a hero, just like that. So that's the first thing I want to tell you is breathe through whatever you are wondering about. That's the first thing I will tell you. The second thing that I will tell you here is, yet those are small prices to pay for making progress, creating value, and getting good things done. There will always be sacrifice in everything you do. There is not one person in the world that has a successful career or has made themselves a success or anything successful happening to them without sacrifice. So that's the second thing I want to tell you. Anything that is going to be worth the trouble of you being able to enjoy your best life, being able to do that for your family and your friends or what have you, is going to require sacrifice. That's the second thing I will tell you. And then finally, the last thing I will tell you all is, for everything else, don't let the prospect of spending a little time and effort scare you away from the gains that you're able to make. That is facts. I could have never thought in a million years that I would be where I am in my life, 30, above ground, and having my faculties together. I know that may seem small, but with the world that we live in today, every day that I get into my place after I close the door, I am so grateful to still be here. Even in the world that we live in today, I know. But if we don't count the blessings that we have, there's more opportunities for curses to come our way if we're not grateful for the blessings that we have. And with that being said, everybody, it's time for the best outro on YouTube as the fireworks are going off behind us here, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say 1 point special, because you will always want a blessing and trust. You may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Wise one thing to call yourself is nothing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully, by spending time together, we're to be great together. I always remember we're doing radio, television, YouTube, live your best life, or child, you're just recognizing just because you have an empire doesn't mean that your empire cannot be the destruction of you. Make sure the replay is not just ready for you to watch it, not just for you to listen to it, but for you want to experience it again. I love you. I value. I embrace you all. Always remember, or see love you gotta give it, or see love you gotta give it, or see love you gotta give it. Wherever obstacles you have overcome, wherever success you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you, but no one else is proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all, I will just say this. Anything, right, that you put out into the world, there is a chance for nobody wanting to receive it. But you know what the blessing of that is? If you never put out what you create, no one's going to be able to consume it anyway. If you look at every single live that we have done, there has always been views. I want you to think about that with your own life. For every single thing that you've done, there has always been somebody to care. Don't worry about everybody not seeing you, because guess what? Everybody doesn't deserve to see you. Okay? I hope that blessed somebody, because child, somebody probably needed that today. Commercial break and fireworks are coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessings that are away for you, me, all of us, as a society, as people, as culture. I feel the love, and I send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love you. Bye.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.